Usually I'd start out this video talking about the backstory of someone and detailing their life, but today I want to talk about this person's music because it just interests me so much. It's different. If you've read the title, then shut the fuck up for a second because I'm making a point. With people who start as independent artists, you kind of just have to give them a round of applause. All I hear in my group chat is Slayyyter this and Slayyyter that. Slay. I mean, I honestly couldn't tell if that was their actual name at first or if they were making a joke being like, Slay. All this being said, this has inspired me to make a video. I unironically like her music outside of my group chat's opinions, and it's something I think not a lot of people are touching on when talking about this artist's growth. Where she came from and where she ended up. A lot of people like to focus on her debut and where she ended up, but I am obsessed with her SoundCloud era. To keep things simple, Slayyyter, or as we'll be calling her, Catherine, grew up in Kirkwood, which is the suburbs of St. Louis. She went to a private school. We know she grew up in the 90s and heavily related to Y2K culture, so we can imagine what her childhood aesthetics might have looked like. Y2K blew up because everyone thought the future was going to be shiny and kind. The internet was new, tech was exciting and kind of terrifying, and pop stars were telling us life is everything and it could be loud and fun and glamorous. It was the moment before things got heavy, before 9/11, when the world still felt like it was speeding forward instead of bracing for impact. That's where Catherine gained her imagery, through this period in time at least. Her early SoundCloud output is filled with visual and aura McBling signifiers, juicy lockets, Hello Kitty, candy skulls, fried blonde hair, pencil-thin eyebrows, and all of this just a perfect lead into her first era of Catherine Grace. Originally, Catherine went to college for music. At least, that's what they say. It was 2017 and things were different for Twitter girls. She wrote an 80s lo-fi pop song that she produced and edited, but she never published it. Despite this, she did produce a song called Swimming Pool, and she posted it. I don't know where. I know it's on YouTube, but I don't know if that's where she posted it or if it was just reposted there. What I do know is she tagged the name as Slayter. It's an interesting look into where her mind was when she first started. For context, her name is a pseudonym for her favorite dazed and confused character, Slayyyter. Now, while Catherine was releasing songs at this point, she wasn't releasing them onto streaming platforms. This is where a lot of fans want her old music without knowing the reason why she scrapped them. We can only assume she doesn't stand by those anymore, or they don't reflect who she is as a person. I don't want to talk heavily about unreleased music just because I don't like leaking content. It's just not me, not my morals. I don't care if other people do it. I really don't give a shit. I just don't want to be caught up in scandal. During this time, Catherine worked as a receptionist at a hair salon. This is when she was uploading her glitchy, catchy, self-recorded singles to SoundCloud. As she told Paper last October, I was living with my mom, and yes, I worked 9 to 5, she said at the time. I literally fold towels. It's kind of tragic, to be honest. Then, as soon as I get home from work, I go to my closet, which has a cute recording studio set up, and I spend the rest of my day doing that until I go to bed. Within months, she would go viral. Around this time is when Catherine started to get big in the Twitter community and started to really make a name for herself. People liked her tweets and supported her efforts in making music. It wasn't a massive following at the time, but it was enough to get her an Aisha erotica collab or two. Her single Dial Tone featured Aisha. I won't even get into like the drama of Aisha or whatever because this isn't a video about her. What I will say is I want to talk about Twitter. Let's focus on Twitter, and Aisha is involved in that. However you feel about that. Let's talk about the importance of Catherine's rise. After a 40-second snippet of the song Mine garnered attention on Twitter with 200,000 views, the song was released on Valentine's Day, and in less than 24 hours, it reached number 30 on iTunes pop chart in the United States. This is so very important to me, because it shows you that Twitter sells. I mean, why the hell wouldn't it? It's Twitter. Twitter is much bigger than a bunch of catty queers who want to fight. There are people who will support you. They're a group of people who are dedicated to making sure their favorite artist does well. And if they've decided you're their favorite artist, you've now got that dedication following you and supporting you. There's serious value in interacting with Twitter. It can both make and break your career. Catherine's self-titled debut mixtape received generally positive critical attention, praised for its nostalgic Y2K infused and unapologetically trashy pop sound. It blended Britney Spears-esque vibes with hyper-pop production, though some people found it lyrically shallow or derivative. Despite this, others celebrated its pure escapism and DIY spirit. Highlights of the mixtape are often cited as BFF, Daddy AF, and Mine. Daddy AF appeared in the opening track of 2022's black comedy horror film Bodies, 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 and 2024's romance comedy drama Anora. Catherine's self-titled mixtape racked up over 100 million streams online worldwide. And I think this is very telling. It was enough to fund a tour, which happened in June 2019, called the Mini Tour. The tour began on June 24th in New York City and concluded on July 27th in her hometown, St. Louis. It sold out. I think the entire tour sold out. I could be wrong, but that's really impressive. At this time, there were articles calling her the internet-bred pop star. And I think this is a very accurate depiction as to how many artists in this day and age gain popularity. In 2020, Catherine released a remix of Britney Spears' Gimme More onto her SoundCloud in April. A lot of people said it's very fitting considering how many people were comparing her to Britney Spears at the time in 2018 and 2019. In October to November, she released the songs Self-Destruct and Throatzilla. With respect, this was a break year for Catherine. She worked hard on other music, but she didn't release as much as people might have wanted. Let people work! It's a year off. Chill. On July 21st, 2021, Catherine announced her debut studio album, Troubled Paradise, set to be released on June 11th. The third single from the album, and a title track, Troubled Paradise, and its music video were released on the following day. She worked hard, as you can tell. Getting a mixtape and a studio album out this close together, I don't know, man. I mean, it shows the dedication she has to her fan base and to making music. Because if it was just about making music, she could make music and then fuck off, you know what I mean? But she doesn't. She interacts and she has fun and she makes visuals for her albums, and I think it's really special. She's quoted speaking on the era saying, "To be honest, that project is not my favorite thing. It was COVID times, and I feel like the visual elements were bad and kind of got lost due to my own personal lostness. It was hard to navigate a debut album rolled out during that time. I wasn't even allowed to do proper photo shoots for half of it. I think I learned a lot from the whole process though, and learned that it's okay to say no, and that you hate stuff, and to redo things that aren't the vision." Dedication. Holy fuck. On January 26th, Heidi Montag confirmed via Twitter that she would be collaborating with Catherine. However, in a 2023 interview with Vice, she confirmed the collaboration would not be released due to a sample clearance issue. Revealed that the two remixes of Britney Spears' Gimme More was crazy expensive to clear.
You're going to be making a song with Heidi Montag soon. True or false? False. Oh, false. I don't know what to say about that. We tried and it just didn't work out. It was a song clearance sample issue, and I would love to work with her in the future, but I'm not really good at collabing.
She also reveals she's not a crazy fan of doing collabs, which kind of shows in her later works. From February to May 2021, she released Clouds, Cowboys, and Over This, all ahead of the album's release. Troubled Paradise was released on June 11th through Fatter label. Pitchfork's Ashley Barton called the project vibrant and ridiculous. Catherine promoted the album by releasing Viva Live performances for tracks Letters and Troubled Paradise. This is so interesting to me because to my knowledge, Viva's not around anymore. That's just not a thing we use, and so I'm kind of shocked that Catherine did, you know what I mean? Because I view it as very irrelevant, but maybe others don't. Maybe it's a valuable source of getting your music out there. I have no clue. In June 2022, Catherine played a song on tour titled Hollywood, later revealed to be I Love Hollywood from her second studio album. She played 2.5 minutes of the song. On October 3rd, 2022, Tav Lowe confirmed via Instagram that Catherine would be the opening act of the North American leg of her Dirt Femme tour. I don't know how people reacted at the time. You know, her having her own sold-out tour and everything, and then going to be the opener. I know artists get shit for that, but I see it as admirable how she grew her career over time. I think I'm just sick of industry plants. I'm looking at you. Don't come for me. I don't give a shit. In an interview, Catherine is quoted as talking about the opening tour saying, "It was amazing. She was amazing and was so kind to me and my team. Being an opener for anyone can be scary sometimes, but her fans were so welcoming and the whole experience was really cool." On July 20th, Catherine announced Starfucker. This favorite album. Love this album. Out of Time served as its lead single. The following day, she released the album's second single, Miss Belladonna. Catherine has a knack for releasing things really soon after she announces them. Like her singles really close to when she announces the album. I love it as a listener. I think it's really cool to get content so close to your release because it really hypes you up and gets you going and it gets you to want to stream the album. I mean, I heard one song, I want to hear more. You know what I mean? Speaking of an era, let's talk a bit about the meaning behind Starfucker that Catherine has said in an interview. The album Starfucker and the era as a whole brought a new life to her as a performer. She had a lot of fun designing what the show would be, and she thought it was a step up from many things she's done in the past. She's also quoted as saying, "I'm not famous, and I dislike most celebrities. I find a lot of people in Hollywood to be majorly full of it, but that's what's so enjoyable about poking fun at it. I think anytime I touch on those themes, it's meant to be ironic with a touch of real glamour. I love pop culture, but it has become less exciting to me. I think celebrity obsession is a waste of a person's time." When asked about being influenced by various themes like Hollywood starlets, retrofuturism, and 80s interior design, Catherine is also quoted as saying, "I think these are all things I'm naturally obsessed with, so it made sense to mix them in with my album era. I've been collecting the sleek cocaine interior 80s and 90s furniture since I moved to LA, and I've been obsessed with old Hollywood for as long as I can remember. I refuse to live in any building built after 1935. I love glamour and curls and martinis. It felt like a heightened version of myself and my real life." So in my opinion, every era of Slayyyter's discography is a view into the state of mind of Catherine. You can see pieces of her upbringing in her earliest works, and throughout her releases, you can see her change and grow. It's extremely interesting. I mean, compare this old piece of work.
Get in my heart and swim around, live in a fantasy. You are the one who holds me down. Never look how I've made. I feel like I'm about to drown in the swimming pool.
Compare it to this one from 2022.
There's my chest, now you're nothing but an ex. That's because I'm the effects. Songs you spinning on the decks. If you really wanna talk it out, then hit me up direct. Boy, you better come correct. Ow, you're such a star fucker.
They just sound entirely different, as they should. She's changed, and so is her music and aesthetics. Starfucker was released on September 22nd, 2023, with the deluxe edition following on December 1st of that year. The more conventional electropop and dance pop style of the album deviated from the hyperpop sound of her previous releases. It is Catherine's first charting album, debuting at number 17 on Billboard's Top Dance/Electronic Albums chart, and peaking at number 10. The album received positive reviews from critics, with several considering it one of 2023's best. I really recommend listening to the album. In order to promote the album, Catherine embarked on the Club Valentine Tour, which consists of 17 shows across the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom, and Ireland. It began on October 25th, 2023 in Boston and concluded in February 17th, 2024 in London. As part of Spotify's Spotify single series, Catherine released a cover of Lady Gaga's song Monster on October 17th, 2023. On a separate but related occasion in early 2024, Lady Gaga commented that she loved a TikTok that Catherine lip-synced to her unreleased song Brooklyn Nights. Growing up in the suburbs of St. Louis and idolizing pop cultures like Britney Spears and Lady Gaga, how have these influences shaped your career and music style? An interviewer asks, and Catherine responds with, "I think I have always loved strong women in music. I definitely listen to many things other than just female pop, but that's always my number one. It helped me get through boring days of school and whatever other things to dream about being a star." So I can imagine Lady Gaga interacting with her was a big deal for the fan base. On September 20th, 2024, Catherine released the single No Comma. This was another slower year for her, which is so deserved after working so hard on Starfucker. This is very loud. When I asked, people are quoted as saying, "Best modern pop album ever, I don't give a fuck. It's genuinely so good and the visuals are sickening. The album cover is crazy. She had little to no budget. Woo, everything is a 10 and I'm not being biased. Even the scrap songs are pop perfection. It deserved brat level success. So criminally underrated. Like, I'm beyond happy she's having mainstream rise at the moment, but damn, I really wish Starfucker was her breakthrough because that album was crazy to have in your discography." So after having fans perceive you like this, you're allowed to take a little bit of a break for a year. Work on your next project. And work she did. After releasing the single Attention with Kesha, the two toured together throughout summer 2025 on the Tits Out tour. Despite all of this, when asked how she connected with her fans, Catherine responded with, "Like I said before, I'm not a famous person. It's not hard to stay grounded at all. No one knows who I am. I'm lucky to have a dedicated fan base that cares enough about my music and art. And I feel like social media, I always can chat with people and don't mind saying hi when someone approaches me. I don't consider them fans. I think the word puts a weird barrier between artists and people who enjoy their art. I think they are just like me, grew up loving the same things as me, kind of like my peers, my oops." God, I love this woman. She is just honestly amazing, just the way she interacts and connects with her fan base. Her oops. I love that. Catherine released Beat Up Chanel's, the lead single from her upcoming third studio album, on August 1st, 2025, alongside a music video. The same day, Columbia Records announced she had signed with them. I'd mark this as a new era, but we're so new into this, which is exactly why I wanted to make this video. The rise of an artist, and here we are watching it happen. I'm very late, I will admit this, but I'm here, loving it with you. Sure, there are certain songs I don't like, as any person would, but this most recent release is special to me because it's the one I remember seeing the most. So let's talk about that. The single and official music video for her song Cannibalism was released on September 12th, 2025. The following month, she followed up Cannibalism with the single Crank, released on October 28th, 2025. When asked what inspired these songs, Catherine is quoted as saying, "All were inspired by different sounds and situations in my life. But overall, I really wanted to tap into the iPod era music and nostalgia for this album. Things I grew up listening to in high school had a lot of impact on me in the way I write. I wanted to blend a bit of each influence into a new song. It's a bit punk, it's a bit rap, it's a bit electroclash. The softest, saddest song on my record still feels in line with the nastiest and grittiest one." The Cannibalism music video was self-directed by Catherine, and this really is a new era for her. I wish I could say I wish her the best, but I already know she's going to go very far. That's a piece of why I wanted to humanize her as much as I could in this video, so people remember she's a human being too, with feelings and emotions. I know there are a lot of fandoms where it's very controversial to use an artist's name, especially when they have a stage name, but so much of Slayyyter is Catherine. And so much of Catherine is Slayyyter. The two personalities are not as disconnected as they are for other artists. And I believe that's a part of the music. That's a part of the SoundCloud to indie to signed pipeline. You grow into something new and exciting, and you gain new fans who don't really understand your past, like me. And there are people like me who take an effort to learn it, even if it's not fully accurate. You do your best. All that to say, there are people who don't get it. They just listen casually, and that's totally fine too. I'm excited to see where this new label brings Catherine, and where it brings Slayyyter the imagery. At the end of the day, Slayyyter isn't just a pop star or an aestheticized timeline. She's a person. She grew and changed and adapted, and we watched it happen in real time. Maybe she stalled there for a little bit, depending on who you ask, but the thing is, she learned. We all learned with her. Every era feels like a snapshot of where Catherine was at that moment. And we're watching the evolution in real time. From SoundCloud uploads, to sold out tours, to now management and labels. None of it feels accidental. It feels earned. And yeah, I'm late to the party, but the party's just started. And I'm here now. And I'm excited to see where it goes. And if it comes to my city one day. So if you like this video, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. You can do all that stuff below. Leave a comment of what you want to see next. I have a big list planned. If anything on there sticks out to you, comment it below, because commenting helps boost my video into the algorithm. And I think that is such a beautiful thing to do. So thank you. I love you. Peace out. Peace out. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys. So in my opinion, every era of Slayyyter's discography is a real view into Catherine, oh my god. Why am I turning into a Wisconsinite? Oh my god. I'm not over that. Hold on.